What's going on, ladies and gents? It is your boy Chris from Day Traders Lifestyle TV. We are here today for another market strip down Saturday. What's going on? It's your boy Chris. Welcome to the first episode of Market Strip Down Saturdays. We are going to start with gold versus US dollar. We're also going to go over the dollar index. We're going to go over the S&P 500. We're going to go over USDJPY. Reason being is they're all very correlated. All of them very correlated. Let's start off with the weekly. We're going to start from top to bottom. Weekly, we have a very strong resistance point here. We have a lot of supply here, not enough demand, which is driving price back down. I have been saying it for weeks now. In the middle of November, I said we were going to have a push up until actually the 19th of, I think I said like the 18th or 19th, somewhere around there, is when the top would finish in gold, because if you look back historically, the last few years, we've had about a 2,000 pip push up, I believe. So I was expecting a push up to around, I think it was the 1380s. We didn't get that. We did have an 800 pip push up from when I sent that out, so I did give out a free, large, just unreal move there that nobody else was even looking at. While everyone else was just napping and taking scalps, I was just giving out hundreds of pips at once. We have a very strong area up here. We have a new weekly candle starting. A new weekly candle starting means that we needed some sort of upper wick. The weekly candle is going to open here, assuming we don't gap. If we do gap, we'll have to wait till tomorrow to see where we gap to. But I'm not expecting, if we do gap, I'm not expecting anything crazy. So we're going to have the weekly candle start around here. From there, we will have to head bullish. I think this week's candle is going to be bearish, but we have to head bullish first in order to create an upper wick. So if we head over to the daily, we can get a better vision of where that's going to go. You can see here that we have resistance and support right here. So I drew this trend line just based off of this resistance and this support. New code crossed, lo and behold, we touched it, bounced off, didn't break it. Okay, so we're still in this consolidation right here. We're still in this range from here to here. Pretty much in one daily candle, we created the range that we were going to trade in. What day was that on? That was on the 4th. We created a 2-week range, a week and a half range. Let's head over to the 4-hour chart. If we look at the 4-hour, my overall analysis is a push back up to here, which brings us up to 1293.11, 1294. If you look at the weekly, where does 1294 line up? Lines up with just a shorter upper wick than the previous one. The daily 1294 lines up just shy of this resistance that I have drawn up here, so it looks good on the weekly, daily, 4-hour. From there, I'm expecting maybe a half a day consolidation and a push down. Look at that, perfect. A push down to there. If we go to the 1-hour, again, it kind of just coincides with everything else. You have to keep in mind, I think I have it drawn out on the 4-hour here. We have this low, this high, created the range. We have this white box, this very big zone that price has not closed outside of. It created it here. We have a support here that was created, and we have a resistance up here. So we have the resistance up here. If I want to adjust this, all right, I'm not sure why I can't get the corners to pop up on this thing, this bad boy. If I want to adjust this and bring it down to here, then we're going off of this body close and this body close. I personally think gold is going to start off bullish and finish off the week bearish. I think we could see, let me go back actually, I don't like that I did that. 1266, let's look at that on the weekly. I think that is a very probable setup right there. Very high possibility that this is going to occur. We could be just shy of it. I personally think that we will head there. I think we will test 1276 this week. If we don't this week, we will next week, but I have a very strong feeling of this week. Let's head over to USDJPY now.
On USDJPY, you can see that we have had quite the reversal on the weekly time frame. A little bit of an unorthodox trend line that we have drawn here, but it is relevant. We have these lows over here. We have support here, support area here, resistance area here. Price faked out, broke back up, pushed up. We had a huge lower wick, consolidation, retested this trend line. We have now closed back above it. I am expecting a push back down to the 1209.40 to 1209.35, which you'll see is a very strong area on the lower time frames. It'll also meet this trend line and a continued push upward. If we go over to the daily now, you can see we have this channel that price was trading in. If we really want to be even more specific, talking about that channel right there. That channel right there, price was trading in, we broke out of it, retested, it collapsed very, very hard. Couple hundred pips, 400 or 500 pips. Woo! Excuse me. Price has pushed back up. Here is that same area, the 109.4, 109.35. Where did I get that? Well, I got it first on the weekly. Now, if we look at the daily, it lines up with this support level right here. We have a very strong support level. This is a very, very, very strong demand level. Very strong demand level. When price comes back to here, we will see a surge push up. We will see price surge and push up very, very quickly. I'm expecting the weekly candle this week to touch 111.21. Yes, I'm expecting the weekly to come up and retest this resistance up here. We will then be back inside of this channel. Next week will be some sort of a consolidation. I'm going to assume once we have that push up, we will check that once it gets closer, obviously. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, you can see that that same level once again lines up at the top of this zone that I have drawn in. This is a very strong area. It started on the 2nd of January. The bottom that I'm using is based on, oh Jesus, the 4th of January, excuse me. The 4th of January is the bottom of the zone, the bottom of that area that we have highlighted there in white. Pushed up, retested this support / resistance right here from these lower bodies. Collapsed, retested the bottom of this area that I have drawn in, and we have been trickling up, pushing up, pushing up. We now have a nice 4 hour lower wick there that needs to be filled. It's going to push down, touch this, and take off. 1 hour, everything just lines up perfect. We have this nice trend line that I drew based off all of these support areas, which is touching. This area right here pushed off. My apologies for the yawning. We had a strong push up here. I'm expecting a push down to, again, the same area, maybe just a little bit past it. I think 109.33 is the absolute lowest that we will go. I can't really see it traveling lower than that, but we will touch that area and we will push off. Let's head over to US 500, better known as the S&P 500. Alright, the S&P 500. You can see we have this channel that price was trading in for weeks and weeks and weeks and billions and billions and billions. Price was trading in it for weeks. It was trading in this channel. This channel started a year ago. Started a year ago, and we're back in it now. After a year after it started, we're finally back in the channel. I'm expecting a push down. Remember, this is negatively correlated to gold. I'm expecting gold to push up and then push down. I'm expecting USDJPY to push down and then push up. I'm expecting the S&P to react the same as USDJPY. Now, gold, I'm expecting about 100 and I think it's a 110 to 120 pip move, which lines up perfect with the 50 to 60 pip move. On USDJPY, gold moves about twice as much pip value wise. And when it moves the opposite way, it's the move's usually valued at twice as much. S&P and gold and USD, I'm not sure the correlation between those pip wise. I do know that S&P moves the same as USDJPY. I am expecting a push down to the 26.35 price handle on the new weekly. A rejection there and a continued push upward. Let's go over to the daily. Daily, you can see we have this nice resistance here. A nice support here. This is the same one that we're looking at on the weekly. 26, 27 looks to be like a very strong area. I am expecting price to push back to here. It's not going to stay there for long, and I'm expecting a continued push up. 4 hour, everything for this just lines up. This trade lines up perfect on every single time frame, all the way from the weekly down to the 1 hour. You can see that the 4 hour lines up perfect as well with that trend line that I have drawn there, as well as the 26, 26 zone, and this trend line, the same zone from the daily and the weekly time frame. Let's go over to the 1 hour, same trend line that you just saw in the 4 hour. Same zone. It's a very, very strong area. I do not see price pushing through that. If we do, this is invalid. We could also see maybe like a poke through on the lower time frames, breakthrough, and a reversal back in and above. Other than that, I see the US dollar gaining strength. I see gold going down. I don't know how long. Definitely for a little bit here, we're going to have some sort of correction. I'd say maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. We could see some sort of correction, and then a push back up, which I do believe is imminent. Imminent. I do believe it's imminent that we do have a push back up. We'll probably break the last high on gold. Let's head over to the dollar index. We are here on the dollar index. You can see that we have had quite the bullish correction here. We have come back into this territory up here. What I see going on here is on the weekly, which is the time frame that we're on right now, I see a reversal back to here, a retest, nice lower wick created with a very, very quick push up. The daily lines up with it as well. Push back down to here and a push off. 4 hour, same thing. Push back down to this support level here at the 95.66. 95.66. Where are you? Right here. This is a very strong area right here. Very strong area. We're going to see price push back down and bounce off of it. What's going on? I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. Gives you a little bit of an insight as to what I'm looking at when I am looking at these charts and correlations between all of these pairs. If you liked it, give it a thumbs down. If you didn't, give it a thumbs. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Write a comment down below about what you would like to see in upcoming episodes every Saturday. All right. Subscribe, hit the notification button. I will see you guys next Saturday for another episode of Market Strip Down Saturdays.